Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Heal 100 Hearts channel where we do what's focused on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you nosy motherfuckers, I'm happy that you're back, and I'm happy to be back as well. Let's get into this Dear DJ letter. All right. While I'm getting into it, please make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the thumbs up. If you are new here, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so you can get all of my Dear DJ videos when they drop, my live at 5, my lid at 6, my show reviews, everything. And also make sure you stick around so you can leave your commentary at the end and share with all that this apply to. Dear Deja, I was incarcerated for 6 years. I just came home a little before the pandemic. During that time, my children were left with their dad and my teenage daughter had a baby. Don't ask me where her dad was. I just know I was in Bedford Hills Correctional Facility. My grandson is 5 years old and my daughter is 19 years old. 19-year-olds are not adults. They're kids, and because of that, she acts as such. She's a very irresponsible mom, and the ish has hit a boiling point. She will leave my grandson with anybody, and that's exactly what she did. She left him with some cousin on the father's side of the family for the summer. When he returned in September, I could see some changed behaviors, but I assumed he just had to adapt to being back home. The behaviors got worse. Finally, my grandson revealed to me that the cousin's husband was touching his private areas and vice versa. When I told my daughter, she had the nerve to say that my grandson was making up stories. Deja, I'm ready to get the police and ACS involved to save my grandson, but I don't want to potentially ruin my daughter and our relationship as we just got it on track since I came home. I don't know what I should do. Let me know what you think. Sign from doing a bid to saving a kid. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you can get all my Dear DJ videos when they drop. I have read. This is my third Dear DJ video today. This is my third Dear DJ video today that I'm recording, right? And in all three videos, for whatever reason, parents have been writing in about children and protection. Children and protection. All of these videos have been about children and protection, protecting your child, protecting someone else's child, leaving your child in the care of somebody else and making sure that they're protected. I don't know why this is coming up so frequently over the holiday season, and it strikes a chord in me because I always share with you guys that I work with young people and I have done my absolute best, okay, my best to a point. Some of the things I've done, I'm pretty sure the DOE would be like, sweetie, I'm sorry, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm protecting a young person. So in doing so, and I'm no one's parent, right? In doing so, it's because I was just raised that you protect young people. You protect young people. And I also know, because as I always share with you guys, I was a young person before, that in doing so, you may not always make the young person happy, right? You may not always make them happy. You might actually piss them the fuck off in trying to do so. But you have to weigh your options. Do you care more about being liked, or do you care more about the young person feeling or being protected? For me, safety first, which means protection first, so I don't give a damn about this young person liking me. I care about them being safe. While this is a very, very touchy conversation because your young person is the primary parent of your grandson, right? And it's very, very hard to tell the primary parent that you know their child better than them, right? So if your daughter is telling you that your grandson may be making stories up, then it's going to be an uphill battle fighting, well, I believe my young person and you don't know what you're talking about. Because if somebody said to you, just because you were incarcerated, that you couldn't tell anybody, an outsider or another person, something about the children that you birthed, then I think that that would feel crazy to you. So I understand how it can be tough trying to tell a mom that they don't know what they're talking about regarding their kid, right? That's one part of it. The other part of it is that the same protection and safety that you want for your child, I can almost guarantee is what you want for your grandchild, which is why you're speaking up. But the hard part about this is trying to protect your grandchild from the person who is supposed to protect them more than you, which is their mom. So this is an incredibly sticky situation. Number one on the list is that it's safety first. And the accusation was not made against his mom. The accusation was made against another family member. And at this point, even though it's only an accusation, it has to be taken seriously. So my suggestion would be to do whatever you have to do and call whoever you have to call to protect your grandson from these people and the accusations that have been made against them. Now, for what you said, that's some family members on the father's side who seem like they're adults. So it's quite all right for you to call them motherfuckers to the carpet and let them be held accountable for what's being said about them if in fact it's true. So you calling whoever you need to call and getting whoever involved that you need to get involved, I see no malice in that. I see no malice in that. What I do see is you trying to protect your grandson. Because I think if mom is here saying that he's making up stories, then she might, and again, this is a strong might, I don't know her well, but she might be, I don't know her at all really, she might be inclined to allow that baby to go there again. And if what in fact is happening is taking place, it could get worse. But if those people are not around, that cannot happen. Or if they are prohibited from seeing your grandson, that cannot happen. So once again, I think calling whoever you need to call and doing whatever you need to do is definitely not a bad thing, right? But once again, what it sounds like is you're equally as concerned about your grandson's safety as you are about you and your daughter's relationship possibly falling apart. So there's ways to approach this to be able to assist you and your daughter with kind of finding some middle ground and getting her to understand, even if she doesn't agree with what you're saying. Number one on the list is, it sounds like your grandson shared this information with you and then you went and shared it with her. Her response was, he's making up stories, right? Kids are very impressionable. Okay, kids are like sponges. Kids are very observant, right? So let's just pretend in some world that your daughter is correct, and your grandson did actually make up these things on these other people. Your question can be to your daughter, if he in fact did, where did he get this from? Because as a 5-year-old, I can almost guarantee that no matter how intelligent or miraculous his train of thought is or how high functioning he is, there would be no way for him to come out with that verbiage if he had not been exposed to either A, that happening, or B, him overhearing somebody else say it or do it. So I would have to say to her, okay, if we're going with he's making up stories, where did he get that story from? Now, granted, it could have came from an iPad. It could have came from a TV show. It could have came from a video game. It could have came from some neighbor kids that he plays with. It could have came from some adult conversation that he overheard somewhere else. Either way, it came from somewhere. And if things is taking place like that around a 5-year-old, you need to know where it's stemming from. So now, if I was you, and since your daughter is hell bent on he's making stories up, okay, well, let's sit down and go through the process of elimination about where he could get a story like this from in the first place. And I know that this may ruffle your daughter's feathers a little because, as you said, she will leave your grandson with anybody, and she doesn't have that much. She doesn't have that many rules surrounding who can watch him, so she may feel offended because that may come up in the conversation. But you guys need to flush this out because right now, her son's safety is at risk with the things that he's saying and what could possibly, allegedly, be happening. So even though she might not want to hear how she wants to leave that baby with any and every fucking body to do whatever it is that she wants to do, you guys have to have that conversation because you need help trying to assess where did this story come from. My other question would be, right, I probably would have to know how it was shared. Meaning, like, did he just randomly say it? Were you washing him up and he said, don't touch that area because that's where so-and-so. Like, what prompted that conversation to come up on his end? What was taking place before? What took place after? And also, I think that having the conversation with that father's side of the family about the accusation that's being made against them. Now, I don't know if your daughter has an issue with addressing that side of the family because maybe they are her babysitters and she doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. I do not know. But at the end of the day, you can keep reminding her, your child's safety is at jeopardy here. So it's not about ruffling anybody's feathers. It's about getting to the bottom of who jeopardized your child's safety so you can make sure that never happens again in this lifetime as long as you're living and breathing. So now, whether they babysit for you or not, whether you want to get along with them or not, all of that is null and void until we get to the bottom of these accusations. So if I was you, I would be telling your daughter, let's get dressed and let's head on over because we need to have a conversation, right? And that's the courteous thing to do. That's the courteous thing to do because really and truly, it will really just be about, as you said, getting the cops, getting ACS and sending them over there, letting his ass get arrested. Right? But your daughter may not want to ruffle their feathers since she claims a young man is just making that up. Whether he's making it up or not, he has said it, so let's address it. So getting dressed and going over. Hi, can we talk to you for a second? My suggestion would be, number one on the list is for your daughter to allow you to do all of the talking. Because I think that the relationship that she shares with them seems to be going pretty well. So she may be very nice and thoughtful about the way she brings this conversation to fruition. And you don't want these people to kind of slip through the cracks thinking that, it's not that serious and we happy you don't believe in it. Absolutely not. So I think when you go there, your daughter should let you do all the talking. And for you, you don't begin talking until after they've talked. So it just would be very, very clear-cut, concise questions. So let me ask, who was my grandchild left with? Okay, he was left with you from what time to what time? What did you guys do during that time? And at any time, was he with you? Okay, did you watch him? Who took him to the restroom? Where did he sleep? You know what I'm saying? Because these are questions that you need to get answers to. And you also want to be able to assess body language and facial expressions and attitude and temperament when you're asking these questions because this information is important. Again, a child's safety is put in jeopardy at this moment. All of this information is important. So now you need to ask all of those questions. Me personally, I'm Queen Recorder. I'm Queen Recorder because I was going to say write it down. But for me, my phone would have been on and I would have been getting a voice memo. I need to have this recorded because I need to know all the responses you gave me because if they switch up in motherfucking court, I want to be able to prove that. So, okay, yes, phone on record. Now, begin your line of questioning. Now, There may be a point throughout the situation where this person feels like, I don't have to answer these questions for you. I said I didn't do anything and I don't feel a need to be interrogated. This can only feel like an interrogation if you've done something wrong. If you haven't done anything and somebody is asking you about a situation that they're claiming you were involved in, if you did nothing wrong in the situation, how does it become an interrogation? Why isn't it that you know I was involved in a situation and you want to ask me what role I played? The role I played was I didn't do anything wrong, so let me share with you. But now once you're viewing it as an interrogation and you're getting all hostile and defensive and you don't want to answer questions, that would definitely raise red flags. What happened here? And I think that it needs to go that way because I also think your daughter needs to be privy to that those people's behaviors and actions and mannerisms and tone and all of that. So she can also see you may have been blinded. You may have been blinded, but look at this. It's right here in your face. So that would be my suggestion. That would be my suggestion. If you're not trying to, like you said, I'm not trying to quote unquote ruin me and my daughter's relationship, but I need answers. I need answers. Right? So depending on how that goes, you'll be able to make an assessment. Your daughter will be able to make an assessment. I would say when you guys leave, you don't discuss it until you get back home or wherever you're going. Because then, now that gives you both time to sit in silence and process everything you just witnessed and heard. And now when you get back to the house and it's time to sit down and talk about next steps, you have to help her make the best decision. And you have to keep reiterating, listen, listen, my dear, stop thinking about anybody else's feelings except for your son. Because really and truly, those are the only set of feelings that matter at this moment, is your son's. So you let her know, I hear you, and all of that sounds great that you're saying right now about that family and what they meant and what they've been through, how they held you down, and all of that is what under the bridge. Right now is what's important is what your son's safety is going to look like moving forward and what you need to do with the folks who you know, think, or feel have jeopardized it. Now, again, am I saying that that won't cause a point of contention between you and your daughter? Not at all. Because this is all new for her. I want to say something to you, Mom, and it's only me reiterating what you said in the beginning of this letter, and I think it is very much applicable, and I don't want you to forget. Your daughter is 19. 19-year-olds are not adults. They are children, and they act as such. That's what you said in the beginning of your letter. I don't want you to forget that. Because I think in this situation, you would start to feel like, well, you got a baby, act like a parent. She's not there yet. She is not there yet. And it's up to you as her parent to help her navigate how to get there. So when you're trying to have these conversations about her making the best decisions for her young person, you have to be able to keep in mind that the same way she needs to parent, she also needs to be parented. So this is not your opportunity to bully her and yell at her and scream at her and force her. No, it's your opportunity to show support and compassion and guidance so she can go in the right direction. The key words here are compassion and guidance. Because while you're trying to navigate her to think about her young person's feelings first, you have to also keep in mind that you need to consider her feelings as well. She's your kid. So I know this is a very, very sticky situation. Very, very sticky situation. There may be a lot of emotions involved. There may be a lot of yelling. There may be a lot of screaming. There may be a lot of accusations. Your own history may come up. She may bring up, how much protection you were given when you were incarcerated. She could spit that back at you. You telling me I didn't protect my son? You didn't protect me either. You were in jail. And Mom, I'm not saying these things to offend you. I'm saying them because I want you to be mindful and know what to anticipate so you can have a rebuttal that will help this conversation go in the right direction. Because if something like that is just thrown out and you didn't expect to hear that, or you feel guilty about it, or it may not be true, it could be either one of those things, then you become defensive, and guess what happens? Until it explodes. That's not what you guys are here for. You're not having this discussion to have beef. You're not having this discussion to hurt one another. You're not having this discussion to bring up past trauma. You're having this discussion because you want to make sure that the safety and the well-being of your grandson and her son is at the forefront of everybody's mind, heart, and actions. But in trying to navigate doing that, you may have to bring up past traumas. You may have to say things that can and will hurt. You may have to address old demons. You may have to apologize. You may have to be okay with an apology that you did not get. You may have to yell. You may have to scream. It's a lot that goes into trying to navigate this situation and the relationship between you two. So, Mama Love, you got work to do. You have work to do. You have work to do. What I just laid down is like the grand scheme of it all. The devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. So I can't just lay it out for you and say, boom, this is the blueprint. This is how it's going to look. No, I have to now show you every step of the way how the blueprint is, how you navigate through the blueprint so you can follow it properly. You have to come and get your Healing Heart session. You have to come and get your Operation Heal 100 Heart session. Your daughter has to come get hers. You ladies have to come together. Because at the end of the day, you do not want the baby, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't either, to suffer because neither one of you have dealt with your past trauma. You also don't want to allow folks to jeopardize the safety of that baby because you two are still dealing with past traumas. If somebody needs to be addressed, address them. If we need to take things to the next level, take it. It's a child involved here. There is no excuses when it comes to protecting him. All right, my dear. That's all I have for now. I anticipate the end of this month seeing you and your daughter, if not together, separately, individually. I anticipate getting to the bottom of what happened to your grandson sooner than later. But in order for you to do any of that, you have to be more than likely first willing to do the work. And I'm here to help you do the work. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell and make sure you turn on your notifications so you'll know when I'm dropping all of my videos because I'm back. Please make sure you share so folks can see what this looks like when they receive a Healing Heart session. And also, if they want to write in their Dear Deidre letters, you guys know the drill on how to do so. And last but certainly not least, drop in the comment section and leave your commentary about the feedback that I provided to this Dear Deidre letter writer. And let's continue making history, healing hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your day.